We've got to do several things, and I am, adamantly against illegal immigrants. I made this exception basically on humanitarian grounds because of the individual stories, but certainly we've got to do more at our borders, and people have to stop employing illegal immigrants.
Well, look, I voted numerous times when I was a senator to spend money to build a barrier to try to prevent illegal immigrants from coming in. And I do think you have to control your borders.
Mexico is such an important problem on our doorstep, and it's a classic case of a very small, relatively small number of people reaping the benefits of the natural resources and the, economic, prosperity that doesn't trickle down. Very briefly on immigration, I hope that we get back to comprehensive immigration reform. We've had
it doesn't make sense for us to allow hundreds of thousands of people coming through our borders without us knowing who they are. Oftentimes in very hazardous situations and unmonitored situations that could do us long-term damage. I think we should have a serious employer verification system where employers, when they hire somebody, find out what their work status is. Are they able to work here legally? Right now, what employers will say is, well, we check their Social Security card, that's the best we can do. So we've got to set up a tamper-proof system and then hold employers accountable. And I do think that the structure that's been set up that says you pay a fine, you learn English, you stay out of trouble, you've got a job, you go to the back of the line so that those who came here legally, that backlog is cleared before you have opportunities for citizenship. That is a reasonable approach.
And they need us to enact comprehensive immigration reform once and for all. They need not, we can't wait 20 years from now to do it. We can't wait 10 years from now to do it. We need to do it by the end of my first term as President of the United States of America. And I will make it a top priority in my first year as President, not only because we have an obligation to secure our borders and get control of who comes in and out of our country.
And that's why I've worked in the Senate and will work hard as President to make sure that we've got comprehensive immigration reform that has strong border security. We need to make sure that it's orderly, that we don't have thousands of people pouring over our borders or overstaying our visas. But we also have to make sure that employers are held accountable.
Turn up your volume. You're going to want to hear this, ladies and gentlemen. Go!
There's no denying that many blacks share the same anxieties as many whites about the wave of illegal immigration flooding our southern border. The number of immigrants added to the labor force every year is of a magnitude not seen in this country for over a century. If this huge influx of mostly low-skilled workers provides some benefits to the economy as a whole, it also threatens to depress further the wages of blue-collar Americans.
He's anti-immigrant. He's a throwback. He's anti-Latino. Obama's remarkable. This is only 8 years ago. This man has these huge evolutionary changes. One day he's against same-sex marriage. The next day he's changing all the laws for same-sex marriage. One day he's against illegal immigration because in particular it hurts blacks. The next day he's for it. Wants to open the borders. Wants a flood of illegals in the country. Man, this guy's unbelievable. Go ahead.
An already overburdened safety net.
I think we need to hear this all again because I can't believe my own ears. Unbelievable.
At that hearing, I asked you how many murderers and rapists here illegally was the Obama administration releasing, and you did not know. So let me ask you, in the several months since that last hearing, how many murderers here illegally has the administration released? Aldana, I asked a specific question. How many murderers has the administration released?
In the last year, let me give it to you by fiscal year 15, I believe there are homicide-related. That's not just murder. That's negligent homicide, etc. There are about 197, I believe.
197 in the last year. How about sexual assaults?
Sexual assaults, we have a chart broken down by crime, sir. I don't have that chart with me, but we can certainly provide it to you.
That means there are essentially almost 1 million known illegal aliens who've been ordered to leave that haven't done so and are living freely here. Why is ICE not deporting those 1 million illegal aliens?
We have a number of obstacles in our way to...
I speak over and over again to ICE agents, to Border Patrol officers who are demoralized, who are dispirited by the political leadership of the Obama administration that doesn't let them do their jobs. Between fiscal year 2009 and fiscal year 2015, the Obama administration released 6,151 criminal aliens who were specifically convicted of a sexual offense.
Probably every illegal alien could be removed, but that's 12 million people do that. That is
Ms.
not
Saldana?
Practical, and that is, quite frankly, not very smart.
Okay, it's not smart to enforce federal law that requires those here illegally to be deported. Let me ask you a question, Ms. Saldana. You said it's not very smart and it's impractical to enforce the law. Did the Bill Clinton administration deport?
I don't know, sir. I didn't work with that administration.
Well, let me answer the question for you. In 8 years, the Bill Clinton administration deported 12,290,905. Now, is it the position of the Obama administration that the Bill Clinton administration was not very smart because it deported 12 million people?
For Senator Clinton and the other candidates, illegal immigration is shaped up as a critical issue in this campaign. Some, in fact, are calling for tougher measures, while some are still calling for amnesty. Those some trying to toughen things up are on the Republican side. None of the Democratic candidates are in any way retreating from the amnesty position. Campaigning last night in New Hampshire, former President Bill Clinton said his wife's plan would put more than 12 million illegal aliens on a path to citizenship, and the former president questioned why I won't go along with her plan on that issue.
I don't understand why Lou Dobbs is against this and keeps calling this amnesty. For a conservative ought to be forgiving undocumented immigrants a path to citizenship because it's the only way of identifying who's in this country.
Well, I would take exception, Mr. Clinton, with the idea that's the only way to find out. But secondly, I would suggest to you that conservatives in this country are all for illegal immigration. They're the ones, along with corporate America and all the illegal employers, who have created this problem and are all for illegal immigration and, of course, for amnesty. President Clinton putting millions of people who are in this country illegally on a path to citizenship as a first condition is simply amnesty. If we are to be a nation of laws, as you say, how can we possibly put forward as a condition precedent the reward of those illegal aliens with citizenship for breaking our laws and crossing our borders? I have said for some time, and I would urge you to talk to your wife about this particular idea, Mr. Clinton, we cannot reform our immigration laws if we can't control immigration. And we can't control immigration unless we control our borders and our ports. I invite you to consider that syllogism and show me where it's wrong.
One of these areas is the problem of illegal immigration.
We have to stop the inflow of illegals coming into our country.
This administration has taken a strong stand to stiffen the protection of our borders.
We will build a wall. It will do what it's supposed to do. Keep illegal immigrants out.
We are increasing border controls by 50%.
We're going to have a border. It's going to be a real border. We have a country. We have to have borders.
We are increasing inspections to prevent the hiring of illegal immigrants. And tonight I announce I will sign an executive order to deny federal contracts to businesses that hire illegal immigrants.
What are we going to do about illegal hiring?
You can be very, very strong. It could be a huge financial penalty. It could be beyond a
Why don't these guys in your... Because that's the magnet.
That with E-Verify and with the various
are you for
methods.
it?
I'm for it.
We should honor every legal immigrant here working hard to be a good citizen, but we are also a nation of laws.
We have a country, we have to have laws. We either have a country or we don't.
We do not want to do anything to encourage more illegal immigration into this country.
We have to stop the inflow of illegals coming into our country.
Mexican government's policies are pushing migration north.
The Mexican government is much smarter, much sharper, much more cunning, and they send the bad ones over because they don't want to pay for them. They don't want to take care of them.
Look, I voted numerous times when I was a senator to spend money to build a barrier to try to prevent illegal immigrants from coming in.
We will build a wall. It will do what it's supposed to do. Keep illegal immigrants out.
If they've committed transgressions of whatever kind, they should be obviously deported.
And some of these people are causing tremendous problems. All you have to do is look at the crime wave. If I'm elected, they're going to be out of there day one.
I voted for border security, and some of it was a fence. I don't think we ever called it a wall. Maybe in some places it was a wall.
We're going to have a border. It's going to be a real border.
Secure our borders with technology, personnel, physical barriers if necessary. We need to have tougher employer sanctions.
We have a country, we have to have borders. We have borders, we have to have laws. We either have a country or we don't.